I'm standing in our living room, still in my work scrubs, when my husband, Derek, throws his laptop across the couch. "You ruined everything," he spits. His face is red, twisted with rage I've never seen before. "I don't understand. I just got home from a double shift at the hospital. What are you talking about?" My voice shakes. He shoves his phone in my face. It's an email from his company's HR department, scheduling a conduct review meeting. "They're investigating me because of you," he hisses. "Because you couldn't keep your mouth shut at that company dinner." I'm genuinely confused. The dinner was 3 weeks ago, his firm's annual gala. I barely spoke to anyone. "Derek, I didn't. You told Jennifer about my stress. About me being overwhelmed," he interrupts, his voice dripping with contempt. "She went straight to my boss, said I might be unstable. Now they're reviewing my entire portfolio, questioning my judgment. My promotion is gone." My stomach drops. Jennifer is the CFO's wife. But I only mentioned that Derek had been working late, seemed tired. It was small talk, nothing malicious. I was just making conversation. "You were sabotaging me," he cuts me off coldly. "And now I'm paying for your jealousy." "She's always been threatened by your success, Derek." His mother Patricia glides into the room like she owns it. Which, honestly, she thinks she does. She's been staying with us for a few days that turned into 3 weeks. I stare at her, shocked. "Patricia, I would never. Oh, please." She waves her hand dismissively, her diamond bracelet catching the light. "I've watched you for 5 years. The way you sulk when Derek gets recognition. The bitter comments about his salary. You can't stand that he's the successful one." My chest tightens with rage and disbelief. Bitter comments? I'm a nurse practitioner. I work 60-hour weeks and make my own solid income. "That's absolutely not true," I say firmly, looking between them. "Derek won't meet my eyes. He's already chosen to believe this narrative." "You've poisoned every work relationship I've built," Derek says, his voice cold and rehearsed, like he's been practicing this speech. "My colleagues think I'm married to some unstable woman who gossips about me. My reputation is destroyed. I asked someone how you were doing. "You made me look weak," he shouts. The silence that follows is suffocating. Patricia places a hand on Derek's shoulder, a gesture of solidarity. Against me, I realize with horrifying clarity, they've already decided I'm the villain, and nothing I say will change their minds. He packs a bag that night while I sit numbly on her bed. Patricia supervises from the doorway, arms crossed, satisfied smirk on her face. "You need time to reflect on your behavior," Derek says, zipping his suitcase. "Maybe some time alone will help you understand what you've done." I want to scream, to throw something, but I just sit there frozen. "Derek, please, can we just talk about this rationally?" "There's nothing to talk about until you take responsibility." He leaves, just like that. 5 years of marriage, and he walks out without a backward glance, his mother trailing behind him like a triumphant general. The apartment feels enormous and suffocating all at once. I sit in the dark living room for hours, replaying the dinner party in my mind. What did I say to Jennifer? I complimented her dress, asked about her kids, mentioned Derek had been working hard on a big project. That was it. Literally. That was it. At 2 a.m., I finally check my phone. No messages from Derek, but there's an email notification. My heart jumps. Maybe he's apologizing? It's not from Derek. It's from his company's attorney. A cease and desist letter warning me against making further defamatory statements about their employee, Derek Matthews. I read the legal letter 5 times, handshaking. Defamatory statements? I've barely spoken about Derek to anyone outside our marriage. This is insane. I call Derek immediately. It goes to voicemail. I call again. Same thing. By the 6th call, I'm furious. I text. Your company sent me a legal threat. What the hell is happening? 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. Finally, Stop playing victim. You know what you did. My lawyer advised documenting everything. His lawyer? When did he get a lawyer? I'm spiraling now, pacing our apartment in my pajamas at 3 a.m. Then something occurs to me. I pull out my laptop and open Derek's old emails. We've always shared passwords, a gesture of trust that now feels prophetic. I search for Jennifer's name. Nothing recent. I try searching promotion and review. Dozens of emails appear, and as I read through them, my blood runs cold. Derek's boss had concerns about his performance 6 months ago. Missed deadlines, incomplete reports, a client complaint about his attitude. There are warnings, multiple warnings. His promotion wasn't derailed by me. It was already in jeopardy long before that dinner party. He's been hiding this from me for months. And now he's using me as a scapegoat. The email is from 4 months ago. Mom, I need $35,000. There was a miscalculation on a client portfolio. I can fix it, but I need to cover it quietly before the audit. Please don't tell anyone, especially not Claire. Patricia's response, of course, darling. I'll transfer it today. This stays between us. That wife of yours doesn't need to know everything. I feel like I've been punched in the stomach. $35,000. A miscalculation he had to cover up. This wasn't just poor performance. This was serious. Potentially criminal if he was covering up financial errors with his mother's money. I keep digging. More emails. Derek asking Patricia for advice on handling HR concerns. Patricia suggesting he control the narrative and establish distance from Claire's influence. There's even a draft email Derek wrote to his boss, never sent, where he claims I've been creating stress at home that affected his focus. It's dated 2 weeks before the dinner party. He was planning this. He was building a case to blame me before anything even happened. The dinner party was just convenient timing. My phone buzzes. A text from my best friend Rachel. Hey, I heard about you and Derek. Is everything okay? His mom called my mom and said you were going through something. Patricia is spreading her version of events to everyone we know. I find the email buried in Derek's spam folder, probably filtered there automatically because of the subject line. Confidential, financial audit escalation. It's from the company's internal investigation team, dated 2 days before Derek confronted me. My hands go numb as I read. Mr. Matthews, as discussed in our preliminary meeting, the audit has uncovered irregularities in client account K, 2847. We've identified unauthorized transfers totaling $127,000 over 6 months. Your cooperation in this investigation is mandatory. Failure to provide documentation may result in termination and criminal referral. $127,000. This isn't about me running my mouth at a party. Derek is being investigated for stealing from his company, and he's setting me up as his excuse, his distraction, his villain. I screenshot everything. Every email, every transfer request to Patricia, every draft where he plots to blame me. Then I do something I've never done. I call Patricia directly. She answers on the 3rd ring, her voice syrupy with false concern. Claire, dear, how are you holding up? I know about the money, I say flatly. Silence. Beautiful, damning silence. I don't know what you're... The $35,000. The client portfolio. The investigation. I know everything, Patricia. Her voice turns to ice. You've been snooping through Derek's private correspondence. I have friends on the state nursing board, Patricia says coldly. Very close friends. One phone call about your mental instability, your inappropriate behavior, your substance issues. I don't have substance issues. I'm shaking with rage now. Maybe not yet. But who would they believe? A respected family with deep community ties, or a nurse who's clearly having a breakdown? Who's so unstable she's hacking into her husband's emails, making wild accusations? The line goes dead. I sit there, phone in hand, realizing the full scope of what I'm dealing with. Derek isn't just throwing me under the bus. His mother is driving it. I want to curl up and cry, to call my mom, my friend, someone. But Patricia's already poisoning those wells. I need a different strategy. I open a new browser window and search for employment lawyers who handle whistleblower cases. Then I do something that will change everything. I create a burner email account and send every piece of evidence I found to myself, to my personal lawyer, and to a trusted friend with instructions. If anything happens to me, if I'm suddenly unstable or lose my license, open this. Then I log into Derek's social media. His Facebook is public. Professional photos, work achievements, the image of a successful finance professional. And there in his recent posts is something that makes my blood boil. The post has 150 comments, all of them supportive. Stay strong, man. Some people are so jealous of success. You deserve better. Derek's colleagues, our mutual friends, even distant relatives, all rallying around him. One comment from his boss. You've got our full support. Take the time you need. I'm reading through them, my jaw clenched, when I see a comment from Jennifer, the CFO's wife. I feel terrible about what happened at dinner. I had no idea mentioning our conversation would cause problems. Your wife seemed so concerned about you. I thought I was helping. My stomach flips. So that, I guess, what triggered this. But Jennifer is making it sound like I was shit-talking Derek, expressing concern that would make him look unstable to his superiors. I scroll through more comments. Patricia has added several. My son is the strongest man I know. He'll get through this. And family isn't always who you're born to. It's who stands by you. The implication is clear. I'm not real family. I'm the outsider who betrayed him. I could comment, defend myself, tell the truth, but I'd look unhinged, like an angry spouse airing dirty laundry. So instead, I screenshot the entire thread. Every comment, every implication, every lie. And I start building something bigger. For 3 days, I gather evidence like I'm building a legal case, because essentially I am. Financial records showing Derek's salary deposits suddenly stopping 4 months ago. He'd been living off his mother's money. Credit card statements in his name with charges to expensive restaurants and hotels on days he told me he was working late. Screenshots of Derek's emails discussing the irregularities with his company's investigation team. Patricia's threatening voicemail, which I'd recorded. Thank you, call recording app. The original dinner party conversation with Jennifer, which I'd actually voice recorded on my phone because I'd been trying to capture a funny story someone was telling. When I play it back, my interaction with Jennifer is completely innocent, warm even. I'm complimentary of Derek, mentioning how dedicated he is. Jennifer is the one who asks, is he doing okay? He seems stressed lately. And I, trying to be honest without oversharing, say, he's been working so hard. I worry about him burning out. That's it. That's the entire sabotage. Meanwhile, Derek hasn't contacted me once. No calls, no texts asking how I'm doing or if we can talk. Just silence and legal threats. But I'm not alone in this fight anymore. Rachel, my best friend, shows up at my apartment with wine and fury in her eyes. My mom didn't buy Patricia's story for a second, Rachel says, pouring us both generous glasses of wine. Patricia was too rehearsed, too defensive. She kept saying Derek was targeted at work and you'd made things worse. But then she let it slip that the problem started way before that dinner. Rachel's mother, Linda, is a retired attorney with a bullshit detector that could rival any polygraph. She'd ask Patricia direct questions. When did the work problem start? What exactly did Claire say? Why is Derek so certain Claire is responsible? Patricia had fumbled, contradicted herself, and eventually hung up abruptly. Mom thinks Derek's embezzling, Rachel says bluntly. She thinks he got caught, panicked, and decided to make you the scapegoat. And his mother is helping him do it. Hearing someone else say it out loud, someone I trust, makes it real, validates that I'm not crazy. I have proof, I tell Rachel, pulling up the files on my laptop. Her eyes widen as she reads through the evidence. The financial irregularities, Patricia's money transfers, Derek's drafted emails plotting to blame me. Holy shit, she whispers. Claire, you need to go public with this. If I do, Patricia will destroy my career. She's already threatened my nursing license. Rachel leans back, thinking. Then she smiles, that dangerous smile I recognize from college, when she was plotting something brilliant. Rachel pulls up a website I've never heard of, financeethicswatch.com. It's an anonymous forum where financial professionals report misconduct, share warnings about bad actors, and discuss industry ethics. It's completely anonymous, Rachel explains. Professionals use it to vet potential employers, report shady practices, warn each other. And Derek's company monitors it religiously. They have to for compliance. My heart races. If I post there, you're not posting. I am. From a coffee shop across town, using a VPN, from a burner laptop I'm buying with cash. Rachel is serious. She's thought this through. I'll post the facts. Just facts. Timeline of events, redacted documents showing the financial irregularities, the company's own investigation emails. No emotions, no personal attacks. Just data. They'll know it's about Derek. They'll know it's about someone at his firm. Maybe Derek. Maybe not. But his bosses will definitely know. And they'll have to act on it. I hesitate. This feels big. Irrevocable. What if it backfires? Rachel grabs my shoulders. Claire, he left you. He threatened you legally. His mother is trying to destroy your career. They fired the first shot. This is just returning fire with facts. She's right. I nod slowly. Okay, do it. Rachel grins. Get me every file you have. This is going to be thorough, professional, and absolutely devastating. I refresh the page compulsively. By midnight, the post has 500 views and 43 comments. Financial professionals from across the country are chiming in. This sounds like the company name situation. I've heard whispers. If this is who I think it is, I interviewed there last year. Major red flags. Someone should report this to the SEC. One commenter, allegedly a former employee of Derek's firm, writes, I worked there until last year. This matches a pattern. Junior employees were pressured to hide losses. I left before it got worse, but I'm not surprised it's escalating. Another, the spouse-blaming tactic is classic. I've seen it before. Make the wife look crazy so nobody believes her if she talks. My phone buzzes. Rachel, it's working. Look at the engagement. She's right. By 2 a.m., there are 70 comments and someone has created a Google Doc compiling evidence of potential fraud at major financial firms, with Derek's company prominently listed. The post has been screenshot and shared on LinkedIn by anonymous accounts. Finance Twitter is picking it up. Then I get a notification that makes my stomach drop. Derek's company has posted a statement on their website announcing an expanded internal investigation into financial compliance and temporary administrative leave for several employees, pending review. He's been suspended. You did this. Derek's voice is raw, frantic. I've never heard him like this. Unhinged, desperate. Derek, don't lie to me. That forum post, the timeline, the documents, it's all our private information. You violated my privacy. You committed theft. I didn't steal anything. I say calmly, surprised by my own steadiness. I found evidence of your crimes in emails you never secured. That's not theft. That's discovery. You've destroyed my career, my reputation. I'm suspended. They're talking about criminal charges. Good, I think, but don't say. Maybe you shouldn't have embezzled $127,000 and then tried to blame me for it. Silence. Heavy, damning silence. I was going to pay it back, he finally says, his voice cracking. It was a temporary thing. I just needed time. You stole from your company. You let your mother fund your cover-up. And then you threw me under the bus to save yourself. I can hear Patricia in the background, shrieking something I can't make out. You're insane, Derek hisses. I'm getting a restraining order. And a divorce. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows what you really are. A vindictive, obsessed, I hang up. My hands are shaking, but I feel powerful. He's scared. And he should be. The reporter, Melissa Chong, is professional and direct. I've been following the Finance Ethics Watch thread and cross-referencing with public filings. Your husband's company has several SEC complaints from the past 2 years. This story is bigger than one employee. It's systematic. I'm sitting in a coffee shop across town, Rachel beside me for support. I can't confirm anything on the record, I tell Melissa carefully. I understand, but I can protect sources, and I can tell the story without naming you. Focus on the corporate culture that enables fraud and punishes whistleblowers. Melissa shows me her preliminary research. Derek's firm has a pattern of settling complaints quietly, promoting aggressive sales tactics and silencing employees who raise concerns. 3 former employees have come forward anonymously with similar stories. Your husband is part of a larger problem, Melissa says, but he's also chosen to make you his scapegoat. That's newsworthy. I glance at Rachel. She nods encouragingly. What would you need from me? I ask. Documentation. Anything that shows the retaliation tactics, the family involvement in covering up misconduct, the threats against your career. I pull out my laptop. I have recordings, emails, screenshots, everything. Melissa's eyes light up. This is going to be a feature story, maybe even a series. She pauses. Are you prepared for the attention this will bring? I'm at the hospital mid-shift when the process server walks up to the nurse's station. Claire Matthews. I nod, confused, and he hands me a manila envelope. You've been served. My colleagues stare as I open it. Divorce petition. Temporary restraining order claiming I'm obsessed, erratic, and potentially dangerous. It lists alleged incidents: hacking private email accounts, harassment via third parties, defamation on public forums, threatening behavior. All eyes, all carefully worded to make me sound unhinged. My supervisor, Karen, pulls me aside. Claire, what's going on? I'm shaking, humiliated, furious. My husband is being investigated for embezzlement. He's blaming me and trying to discredit me before the truth comes out. Karen's expression softens. Do you need time off? No. I need to work. I need normalcy. But the damage is done. By end of shift, everyone's whispering. I can feel their eyes on me. Their judgment. At home, I find an eviction notice on my door. The apartment is in Derek's name. He's forcing me out. Patricia's handiwork, no doubt. I have 30 days to leave. No home. No husband. My reputation shredded. But I still have the truth. And tomorrow, Melissa's story goes live. I text her. They just served me with a restraining order. Can you include that? The headline appears at 6 a.m. How one finance firm's culture of fraud nearly destroyed a whistleblower. And her marriage. Melissa didn't name me or Derek, but she didn't have to. Every detail is there. The missing money, the company investigation, the spouse who is blamed, the mother who funded the cover-up, the legal threats designed to silence. The article quotes the anonymous forum posts, includes testimony from former employees, details the SEC complaints. It's thorough, devastating, and completely factual. Within 2 hours, it's trending on LinkedIn and Twitter. Financial professionals are sharing it with comments like, "This is why people don't report fraud," and the retaliation described here is criminal. By noon, 3 more major publications have picked up the story, each adding new angles. Workplace retaliation, corporate accountability, family complicity. Derek's company issues a statement. We take these allegations seriously and are cooperating fully with authorities. The employees in question have been terminated. Derek's fired. My phone explodes with messages. Friends I haven't heard from in months. apologizing for believing Derek's version of events. Distant relatives asking if I'm okay. Even Jennifer, the CFO's wife, sends a heartfelt message. I'm so sorry. I had no idea what I'd walked into. Please let me know if I can help. You've ruined him. Patricia shrieks into the phone. I hit record immediately. He's lost everything because of your vindictive, jealous rampage. He lost everything because he committed fraud, I say calmly. That's not my fault. You could have kept your mouth shut, supported him. That's what wives do. Actually, wives don't cover up crimes. That's what accomplices do. How dare you? I gave him that money to help him fix a mistake. There it is. Admission on record. So you knew he'd stolen from his company, and you helped him cover it up. That's conspiracy to commit fraud, Patricia. Silence. Then, you're twisting my words. I'm recording this conversation. Every word. I can hear her breathing, calculating. Then her voice drops to something cold and threatening. You think you've won? I have lawyers. Real lawyers. They'll tear you apart in divorce court. You'll get nothing. No house, no money, nothing. The house is already gone. Derek's evicting me, remember? Good. You deserve to be homeless after what you've done to my son. She's unraveling, saying things no lawyer would ever approve. Did you threaten my nursing license? I asked directly. Did you tell me you'd call the state board? That was, she's stammering now, realizing she's been trapped. Derek's attorney calls me within an hour. His tone has completely changed, from aggressive to conciliatory. Mrs. Matthews, I've reviewed the recording you sent. I need to have a conversation with my client about the direction of this case. Does that mean you're dropping the restraining order? I ask. Let me be frank. The restraining order was ill-advised. The allegations don't hold up against the evidence you've presented. I'll be filing a motion to dismiss. And the divorce? That's between you and Mr. Matthews. But I'd strongly advise him to settle fairly and quietly. This case has drawn enough attention. Translation. Derek's legal team wants to cut their losses before this gets worse for everyone. I want the apartment until the lease expires. 6 months. And I want a formal apology from Derek, in writing, admitting he falsely accused me. That's unlikely. Then we'll proceed with the current publicity trajectory. I have 3 more news outlets requesting interviews. I've been turning them down, but I can change my mind. Silence. Calculation. I'll discuss it with my client. 2 hours later, I get an email. Derek agrees to my terms. The restraining order will be dropped. I can stay in the apartment. And there's an attached letter, stilted, clearly written by his lawyer, but signed by Derek. I acknowledge that I unfairly blamed my wife for professional problems of my own making. I apologize for the harm caused. I create one final post on Finance Ethics Watch titled, Update, the Whistleblower One. I attached Derek's apology letter with names redacted and a brief summary. The employee mentioned in my previous post has been terminated. His company is under investigation. The spouse he tried to blame has been vindicated. This is what accountability looks like. The response is overwhelming. Hundreds of comments. This made my day. Justice does exist. Thank you for not backing down. Several people share their own stories of workplace retaliation and being gaslit by family members. The thread becomes a resource hub. Lawyers offering pro bono advice, therapists specializing in family trauma, support groups for people dealing with similar situations. One comment stands out. I'm the former employee who left this company last year. Thank you for exposing what I was too scared to. You probably saved careers, maybe even lives. Another. I'm an SEC investigator. I can't comment on active cases, but I want you to know that posts like yours, DO, lead to real action. Thank you for speaking up. I screenshot everything and send it to Melissa. She replies, You're a hero. Literally. I don't feel like a hero. I feel exhausted, vindicated, and strangely empty. Derek destroyed our marriage to save his own skin. And even though I won, I lost something too. Derek's LinkedIn profile has been updated. Instead of his prestigious job title, it now reads, "Seeking new opportunities in finance." The kind of vague euphemism that screams I got fired. But it's the activity section that's fascinating. He's posted a long, rambling statement. The past few weeks have been the most challenging of my life. I've made mistakes, professionally and personally, that I deeply regret. I'm committed to learning from this experience and rebuilding trust with those I've hurt. It's a non-apology apology. All passive language, no real accountability. And the comments are brutal. Accountability means naming what you did, not vague mistakes. I worked with you. You blamed everyone but yourself then too. Good luck finding work in this industry after embezzlement allegations. Several former colleagues have connected the dots between his post and the articles. One comments, "Is this about the fraud investigation at company?" Because if so, this apology isn't sufficient. Derek disables comments within an hour, but the damage is done. Screenshots circulate. Rachel sends me a Reddit thread where someone's dissecting Derek's statement line by line, calling it a masterclass in how not to apologize. "He's become a cautionary tale," Rachel texts. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in my apartment for now, feeling oddly calm. The man who tried to destroy me has destroyed himself instead. The message is professional and respectful. Ms. Matthews, I followed your story through industry channels. Your courage in exposing misconduct while facing extreme personal retaliation is exactly the perspective we need. Would you consider joining our advisory board for ethical workplace practices? The company is a mid-sized firm with an impeccable reputation. They're building a whistleblower protection program and want input from people who've actually lived through retaliation. The position pays, well, more than I expected. I schedule a call with their chief ethics officer, a woman named Dr. Sandra Kim. She's direct and impressive. We need people who understand that doing the right thing often comes at enormous personal cost, Sandra says. You didn't just report fraud. You endured a smear campaign, legal threats, and character assassination. And you still told the truth. That's exactly who we need advising us. I'm a nurse, not a finance professional, I point out. Exactly. Ethical failures happen across industries. Medical, finance, tech, the patterns are the same. We need diverse perspectives. I accept the position. It's 2 days per month, remote, and it comes with a title, Ethics Consultant. When I update my own LinkedIn, the response is immediate. Messages from other professionals who faced retaliation. Thanks from people who've been too scared to speak up. And one message from Derek. Congratulations. You've really landed on your feet. 6 weeks later, we're in mediation for the final divorce settlement. Derek looks different, smaller, exhausted, like someone's deflated him. Patricia isn't here. Apparently, she's been advised by multiple lawyers to stay far away from anything related to this case. Derek's new attorney, the third one, the others quit, is professional but resigned. They know they have no leverage. My client is prepared to offer an equitable split of remaining assets, the attorney begins. Remaining assets is generous phrasing. Derek's lost his job, drained his savings on legal fees, and his mother has cut off funding after her own lawyers warned her about conspiracy charges. We're dividing debt more than assets. But there's one thing I want. The written apology stands as part of the public record. I say firmly, any settlement includes Derek's acknowledgement that I was not responsible for his professional failures. Derek's jaw clenches, but he nods. And one more thing. I continue, looking directly at him. You don't get to rewrite this story. No, we grew apart, or mutual differences. You blamed me for your crimes. That's the truth, and it stays the truth. For the first time in months, Derek makes eye contact. I know, he says quietly. I know what I did. We're standing outside the mediator's office, divorce papers signed, when Derek stops me. Claire, wait. I turn wary. I need to say this without lawyers, without my mother, without any bullshit. He looks broken, genuinely broken. I'm sorry. Not the fake apology my lawyer wrote. I'm sorry for what I actually did, for blaming you, for letting my mom poison everything, for being too much of a coward to take responsibility. I cross my arms, waiting. I was terrified, he continues, voice cracking. The investigation started and I panicked. I convinced myself that if I could just control the narrative, I could fix everything. And you were the easiest target because you actually cared about me. You'd actually been worried about me. That doesn't make it okay, I say firmly. I know. God, I know. He runs his hands through his hair. I destroyed a 5-year marriage and your reputation because I was a coward. My mom enabled me my whole life, and instead of finally growing up, I let her help me destroy you. Tears are running down his face now. Real ones. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it, but I needed you to know that you were right about everything, and I was wrong about everything, and I'm sorry. I stand there, looking at this man I once loved, now a stranger who finally sees clearly. Thank you for saying that, I tell him. It doesn't fix what happened, but it matters. He nods, wiping his eyes. What you did, exposing everything, it saved me from becoming something even worse. I was on a path that would have ended in prison or worse. You did that to yourself, Derek. I just refused to go down with you. I know. He takes a shaky breath. I hope you have a good life, Claire. You deserve it. He walks away, and I watch him go, smaller, humbler, finally accountable. 3 months post-divorce, my life looks completely different. I've moved into a smaller apartment, just mine, no shared leases or memories. Rachel helped me decorate, and it feels like a fresh start. The ethics consulting work has expanded. I'm now advising 3 companies, speaking at conferences about workplace retaliation, and I've been contacted by a publisher interested in a book about my experience. My nursing supervisor, Karen, who witnessed the server showing up at the hospital, approaches me during a shift. I owe you an apology. When you were served, I assumed, well, I made assumptions. But then the articles came out, and I realized what you'd actually been dealing with. It's okay, I tell her. Honestly, I understand. The narrative Derek created was convincing. Still, you handled it with incredible dignity, and you're a damn good nurse. I'm glad you didn't let him drive you out of this profession. That night, I receive a Facebook message from Jennifer, the CFO's wife, whose innocent conversation started this nightmare. Claire, I've been following everything. I can't apologize enough for my part in this. I had no idea what Derek was really doing or that he'd use my concern against you. If you're ever willing, I'd love to buy you coffee and apologize properly. I accept, because healing isn't just about justice. It's about rebuilding connections that were damaged by someone else's lies. Jennifer stirs her latte nervously. I should have told you this sooner. But after the dinner party, Patricia called me, said she was worried about Derek's marriage, and that you'd been acting strangely. She specifically mentioned that you might say concerning things about Derek's work. My stomach drops. She preemptively poisoned you against me. Yes. So when you casually mentioned Derek seemed stressed, it seemed like confirmation of what Patricia had warned me about. I thought I was helping by alerting my husband. Jennifer's eyes fill with tears. I'm so sorry. I was manipulated, and I helped them hurt you. The full picture finally crystallizes. Patricia had been orchestrating this for months, setting up pieces, creating narratives, ensuring that when Derek's crime surfaced, I would be the perfect scapegoat. It wasn't your fault, I tell Jennifer. Patricia's spent decades manipulating people. You couldn't have known. We talk for 2 hours, 2 women who were both used as pawns in Patricia's game to protect her son. As I walk home that evening, I realize something profound. I didn't just survive Derek's betrayal. I exposed an entire system of manipulation, held people accountable, and rebuilt my life on my own terms. My phone buzzes. A text from the publisher. We'd love to move forward with your book. Working title, The Price of Truth. One woman's fight against family fraud. I smile and type back, let's do it. The book deal is finalized. My ethics consulting has become a full side career. I'm still nursing. I love the work too much to leave. But now I'm also building something bigger. Derek reached out once more, 3 months ago, to tell me he's in therapy and working at a small accounting firm doing basic bookkeeping. No more high finance. He's rebuilding from scratch and he sounds humbler. Genuine. Patricia, according to mutual family friends, has become a pariah in her social circles. The women who once admired her discovered she'd been lying and manipulating for years. She's retreated from public life entirely. The apartment I was nearly evicted from, I bought it, used part of my book advance as a down payment. It's mine now, truly mine. Rachel and I celebrated with champagne the day the deed was signed. To truth, she toasted. To truth, I agreed. And to the people brave enough to tell it. My story went viral, not the way Derek intended, not as a cautionary tale about a bitter wife, but as a testament to what happens when you refuse to be silenced. I posted one final update to Finance Ethics Watch. The woman who was blamed for everything now owns her own home, has a book deal, and built a career from exposing fraud. The man who blamed her lost everything he cheated to gain. Truth always wins. It just takes courage to hold on to it long enough. The replies flooded in, hundreds of them, from people who'd been inspired to speak their own truths. And I realized Derek tried to ruin my career. Instead, he gave me a purpose.